What is going on, everyone? Tim from Tier 4 Orbital. So today I would like to quickly go over an install commission that I completed on an Ignition Sabers Ocularis. So I've done quite a few installs on this hilt. I have talked at length, probably ad nauseum, about how great this hilt and the majority of hilts, all of the hilts really, that come out of Ignition Saber Company's workshop, right? These hilts are, all of the hilts really that come from Ignition are absolutely fantastic canvases for modification, for etching, for weathering, for adding your own personal touches on them. They're really, really great hilts to work with. Okay, they're great hilts to install on as well. So this particular Ocularis was sent to Carl over at Vaults of Valhalla. Carl is an artist, in my opinion. Carl etches hilts. They are, all of them are absolute works of art. I also happen to have one of Carl's, I commissioned Carl to do a Blade Runner themed hilt for me. It's actually a Subversion. It's also from Ignition Saber Company. I wanted something after, years of getting Carl's, work come across my desk on hilts that he's done. I knew that I wanted one in my collection, right? So I wanted to talk about that. I also want to talk, obviously, we're going to talk about the hilt in question, right? So this is an Ocularis that was etched by Carl. It was etched with a Blade Runner theme. So this is actually, I kind of feel like this is a sibling to my hilt, my Subversion, which is also Blade Runner themed, right? So, I mean, etching works of art like this into hilts is not easy. It is not an easy task. It's not like, you're just searching for random clip art and PNGs to slap on an etch pattern and to put on a hilt. I know nothing about etching, but I do know a thing or two about composition and how to place things so they don't look like, like they're just haphazardly slapped together. All of Carl's stuff just looks like absolute art, right? So I do want to come up top and talk about this hilt. I'm not going to come into Fusion because this was installed with the hybrid crystal reveal chassis that I designed for this hilt, and I feel like I've gone over that in depth a number of times already, right? So I'm not going to waste everyone's time by going over that chassis, but I do want to come up top and get a closer look at the etch on this hilt because it is really, really awesome, okay? So with all of that out of the way, let's come up top. Okay, so I've got both hilts here. This one up top is my personal Subversion from Ignition Saber Company that was etched by Carl. The bottom hilt was also etched by Carl with a Blade Runner theme. So, I mean, both of these are amazing, okay? So this Ocularis, it's just absolutely rad, right? There is detail all over this hilt, right? I'm going to start at the bottom. There's Welcome to Los Angeles down at the bottom here. There's just, it's on both sides of the pommel. I'm still like finding details in this hilt, right? The grip is just really, really awesome. I think this is like Tyrell. It almost looks like Tyrell's home office or a pattern that looks like it, right? That building in the beginning of Blade Runner. It's just great, great looking hilt. Okay, the color scheme is rad. We've got Tyrell Corp on both sides up top here. It's just such a great example of what art can look like when it is etched into a lightsaber, right? So this is my personal, just a shit ton. I'm just gonna say it. This is just a shit ton of detail in these etchings, right? I mean, they just look absolutely fantastic. Okay, I love that dove back there. God, it looks so good. So anyway, enough about my hilt. Let's talk about the customer's hilt, right? So this is an Ocularis from Ignition Saber Company. A great opportunity to have not only a crystal reveal, but a marble reveal up top. So I'm completely leaving out the fact that Carl also routed a window in the grip here that gives us an opportunity to show off that crystal chamber, right? Just another great example of these hilts and how you can really make them your own. You can modify them in a ton of different ways, right? So let's talk about how to get to this chassis. Now, with this particular Ocularis, so with all of the Ocularis, they are a twist lock grip, okay? I have a feeling because of this etch pattern, Carl may have made a slight modification to this grip so that the grip does not scratch into this powder coating. However, doing that has made it a little bit difficult to make sure that this is adequately tightened. So this thumb screw kind of tightens down into these two pieces to help keep that grip in place. So I really had to crank down on this brass thumb screw to make sure that this grip does not slide around, right? So with that being said, just to you, the customer, just be aware of that. I actually like with the Ocularis, I like to leave it with a little bit of pressure so that when you're taking the grip off, it kind of still has a little bit of pressure in place, right? So I'm just leaving this as is. Because if you unthread this too much, the grip stays like really, really loose. Okay. So anyhow, here is our chassis. We've got our brass crystal chamber up top. So this brass crystal chamber is absolutely massive. Okay, I've kind of toned down my crystal chambers after doing this one because once you have so much material in brass, it gets a little pricey to start printing it. Right? They charge you by volume, and this is an absolutely massive crystal chamber. Right? It's so big. The two probes, these are in sterling silver, and then we have a real quartz point in there as well. Okay. The main body of the chassis was done in MJF nylon. Okay, black dyed MJF nylon, and we have a 28 millimeter bass speaker at the bottom there. Okay, so let me get a battery. For the battery tray, spring side is your negative, so make sure you're putting that flat part of your battery down towards the speaker. Okay, let me hit my kill switch. I'm completely leaving out the fact that there is a Noah Drew marble in here. So another really awesome thing about the Ocularis is obviously this upper eye reveal. Noah Drew's marbles look absolutely perfect for this application. So this marble's got a cube, an opalite cube in the middle of it. And it gives us a really, really cool look, especially when it's lit. Okay. And there is that crystal chamber. Okay. So once you get your battery in, you want to slot your grip in place, kind of find the hole where that brass thumb screw is, and then tighten it to secure it, right? So again, like you can loosen this, but I found that once you loosen this grip is super, super loose. Like it just kind of flops around, right? So I just really, really crank this down just to make sure it's secure. I guess I don't have twist to activate on this one. 3, 2, 1. All right. All right. So that's it. Let's come down to the bottom. Oh, it is on. Twist activate's on. So there is that crystal reveal in the grip. That's such an awesome way to showcase that chassis. Okay. Okay. Let's put a blade in it. Okay, so this is a 1-inch blade holder. You want to rest your blade on those PCB pins. Whoops. On those PCB pins, this knurled thumb screw around front will serve as your blade retention. So tighten that. And you are ready to go. Okay. Let's see what else we put on here. There's that crystal. All lit up in that grip. That looks so great exposed like that. Okay. One more. Yeah. All right, one more.
The NASA team is ready for launch.
And then, of course, that Noah Drew marble up there, all lit up. Great looking hilt. All right, that's it. That is the Ocularis from Ignition Saber Company, etched by the very, very talented Carl from Vaults of Valhalla. Just an awesome, awesome modification and etch on this hilt, right? I always love getting to see Carl's works come across my desk, right? So if you have never worked with Carl, he is an utmost gentleman. He is super talented, really, really nice guy from across the pond. If you ever get a chance to commission something from Carl, I highly, highly recommend it, right? These are one of a kind works of art, honestly. So anyhow, to the customer, this was a long time coming, this project. Thank you very much for your patience. I will actually be getting this in the mail after filming this video, along with your lightsaber carrying case. This particular customer was the one that got the classic Apple colorway lightsaber carrying case. So I will be putting this in your case and getting it in the mail today. And then we will be on our way. What? So anyhow, thank you everybody for watching. If anyone has any questions about this particular install or anything really, please do not be a stranger. And with that being said, may the force be with you always. Have a good one, everybody.